Hey, hello, and welcome to Watch Party. I'm Luke Gonzalez. I'm joined by the double Johns, John Seiler.
Garbage Day!
Kumate, 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 kumate.
And John Scott. Yeah, so you two have never seen this movie, which I would call...
I was
No.
going to say, I don't know that quote, Kumite, because I've never seen BLOODSPORT.
You will. So I would say this is the Street Fighter / Mortal Kombat movie we should have always gotten. Probably more Street Fighter. And this is...
I mean, because it stars Street Fighter's Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, way before. So this is the movie that broke it. So we're watching this is... What year is this? 1989, I think?
Amazon says it's 1988.
88. I was close. 1988, Bloodsport by Canon Films. And MGM. This is a very fun, wild movie.
Which Canon Films has a weird, wild history in 80s Hollywood.
Yeah, we could talk about it as we're watching because there's going to be lots of opportunity to do that. So, John Scott, are we all set?
Yes. You want me to count down?
Uh-huh.
All right. We're going to go in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. So I have the Metro Goldwyn Mayer MGM, the lion that's mega dead.
That lion is super dead. Canon, the biggest oil salesman scam in film history.
I don't know. I feel like maybe it's because I'm a child of 1986, born in 1986. I feel like when I hear about iconic or provocative or controversial 80s films, Canon is always within that same breath.
Oh, they put out so much stuff.
It's
Newt Arnold.
We were talking about how they did The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, or they did Superman 3 and 4.
No, just 4.
Just 4? Okay. They did Superman 4, but they also did this movie, which is also very well celebrated.
Well, yeah, and this is the movie that made Jean-Claude Van Damme who he is. There is so much backstory on this movie that I would love to get through. So, you guys are
I like to think that Jean-Claude Van Damme is in a movie directed by cocaine.
So, if you don't know who this is, the guy with the Korean bandana, that is Bolo Young, who has one of the best Asian cinema careers. He's the number 2 bad guy in... Oh yeah, this movie's very racist, if you did not know that. It's the depiction of characters.
An 80s...
in a Street Fighter way.
I was going to say, it's almost kind of funny, because even watching this opening, I'm I get why people compare this to Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter.
Oh, it's 100%
Okay,
Street
so
Fighter.
the guy who directed this was the first assistant director on Godfather 2.
Oh, I can tell you, he's one of the guys in this movie is also the bad guy, I think, in Kickboxer. I think it's when he comes up in this, I'll show you. But this is very much what we should get out of a Street Fighter, especially with this intro. Which, and then we have is it? I was going to say Barry Gibb. That's wrong. Donald Gibb, who's in a million things. But Bolo Young is from... He's in Double Impact, which is also a Van Damme movie, but he plays Bolo in Enter the Dragon. So he's the number 2 villain in Enter the Dragon.
Okay.
I was going to say, it's really funny because, there's Honda.
See, I only know Kumite from the How Did This Get Made episode.
Okay, and also, I believe... Have you guys ever seen him?
I look at this guy sweeping. I just think of, ever see Kung Pao Enter the Fist?
Oh, yes.
We are both ventriloquists.
Yeah. But Bolo Young's in a ton of canon stuff too. Because he's just if you need an Asian guy with giant muscles, look at this outfit from Jean-Claude.
You tell that son of a bitch, I'll kick his ass before I go to Hong Kong.
Okay, so this movie is based, and I'm going to use lots of quotation marks, on Jean-Claude Van Damme's character, Frank Duke, the real
Who
person.
wants to go home?
Where so in the Jean-Claude oeuvre, like where does this like fit in? Like
This is the first.
like
this is the first.
like first big film?
This is his like.
I love that guy just
this
took
is
a
like
pause.
second film.
Oh, this guy just took a pause and was like, "Shit."
Yeah, this is pretty much his second film. Period.
Yeah.
Like he was in one other canon film before this, and as a villain, but this is him starting. So, do you know how he got this movie? I'm guessing neither of you do.
It looks like he was in Break-In.
He was like a stunt guy, but this is his first. Like he did like one other movie where he actually like acted.
He was the villain.
And he's the villain.
It was called No Retreat, No Surrender.
Yes, which was, I believe, another canon movie.
Was not.
But so he got this movie because he heard Golden Globus, which they were like #1 kind of action movie, like martial arts movie, because they did like all of like the American Ninja and like Ninja the Resurrection, and Ninja the Revenge, and all the what do you call it? Chuck Norris movies. So he found out where Golan and Globus, who are the people who ran Canon, were going to have lunch, and he showed up and he did martial arts moves in front of them. And they were like, fuck yeah, let's make the movie.
That sounds like the most 80s shit ever.
And yeah, so the plot of this movie is based on the true story in the world's biggest quotes. Now we're in a flashback.
And this is the year before he's like doing stuff in like Predator.
Yes. This is like right around when he's doing the stuff in Predator.
Okay, is this kid in the hat supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme?
Yes. Do you notice what he's wearing?
I'll tell you what, he looks nothing like Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah,
Wait, so you hear him talk.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
He's Joe-Claude Van Damme.
Yes, but what does his shirt say?
Oh God, what should I go?
Giants.
And what is that's the New York Giants. What is his hat?
San Francisco Giants.
No. How does that make sense?
It doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah.
And this guy's also been in a million movies.
Yeah, he looks familiar. I feel like I've seen him in something.
He already kicked his ass.
It's Roy Chiao. So he's the Asian guy at the beginning of Temple of Doom that goes to meet Indiana Jones.
Whoa! He
in the
cut
barn
off
beginning.
the brim of his hat.
And he's also in Game of Death, the last Bruce Lee movie.
That's a good line. You didn't flinch. You have fighting spirit. I mean, this is like dumb bullshit fighting tournament garbage that I love. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's like the thing where like people
This
like
is
talk about
exactly
like
my kind of garbage that I can get into.
it. You know, it's like when people talk about like the Street Fighter mythos being bad or Mortal Kombat mythos being bad, and I'm like, I or like any kind of fighting game mythos. It's like I kind of love that shit. You know, I think it's fun. You know, it's like I don't expect The Last of Us, from a fighting game, but I think like a lot of this shit is like super fun. Like
And this is a movie that uses like the montage to give us all that information so fast.
Why don't you quit Round Eye?
What's
Yeah. So, like what you're saying, this is based on the quote-unquote true story of the real Frank Duke, who said there was a real Kumite in the world, and he worked for the CIA to infiltrate it. And he's also the one who's like basically that like is why the UFC exists, apparently, because he was the initiator of MMA.
Wait,
I think it's in all real quotation marks. And he worked on this film writing and training Jean-Claude Van Damme to play himself.
Wait, so like how did the master's son get the shit beat out of him?
Because he's like 60 pounds and super thin.
I love that everyone knows what this Kumite is, even though it's definitely not a real thing.
Well, I mean, like,
Well, no, you
the
only
two kids know who the Kumite is because their master taught them about the Kumite.
Oh shit, he's dead.
Oh shit.
Oh shit! What happened to him?
Rose is saying she's hyped. She's
I
smashing.
thought you said what happened to him, and your answer is Rose happened to him. Like, did Rose like travel back in time and kill this guy? Like, is that what you're saying?
What if the son is not dead? It's actually in the Kumite. Like,
That would be interesting, but I could tell you no.
Oh, thank you.
Get prepared to hear the word Shidoshi a lot. Oh, this also reminds me of so this is around the same time as like Karate Kid. And this is very similar to like so if you heard what he said, his family's from Hiroshima.
What you're telling me is this movie is more violent Karate Kid.
Well, yes, very much so. But like, do you in Karate Kid when you learn, what's his name in Karate Kid? The master.
You're talking about Miyagi.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi's backstory is like super brutal, like this too. Like that he was like.
I mean, like if you're like a 50-something Japanese man living in the United States in the 1980s, more likely, like your backstory involves like Hiroshima and the bombing and blah blah blah.
Are you prepared for like the greatest training montage of all time? That's all Bruce Lee stuff that they're pulling right there. They're not limiting yourself to one style. Shidoshi. Also, if you didn't know, the music in this is the best.
Yeah, it's like not bad.
It's like really good, like 80s, like techno house music.
It's basically like every game that tries to ape like an 80s like retro game aesthetic, like has for a soundtrack, like a Hotline Miami.
Yes.
So this is the same guy who did the score for Kickboxer.
Well, yeah, that makes sense. Since Kickboxer's like the other big martial arts Van Damme movie. Which Van Damme's like in real life, he's not really a martial artist. He's in like the Steven Seagal world of martial artists.
All right, so I have the cast list up right now, or the trivia, because I have it on Prime. So the fight coordinator for this movie was the real Frank Duke.
Yes, I said that. Yeah, he trained Van Damme, and Van Damme said it was the hardest he'd ever trained. But that's because Van Damme had not known cocaine yet.
There's like 3 sequels to Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, none of them have Van Damme in there, or any of these guys.
I mean, like
my favorite. That was a real fish in his hand.
Of course it was. There's a split.
Well, that's the Van Damme's. Oh, if you want splits, this is the Van Damme splits movie.
Yeah, does he do the split
7 times I heard he does it.
Yeah, he does it so many times.
Like the Johnny Cage split nut shot?
Yes, and this is all. Oh, I think he actually does it in this movie, and they ate that for the game. This is also a movie where if you talk about like the male gaze, this movie is made to just stare at like Van Damme's body. I love that he's doing this in a polo shirt.
Yeah.
Isn't this such like a funny, like goofy?
He then goes for like the Three Stooges like poke in the eyes.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's getting hit without experiencing pain. Again, that reminds me of Kung Pao when he just kept getting hit in the nuts.
Oh, the Kung Pao is so good because it is eating these movies.
That's like the one thing about like watching this movie. I am like not like I know like there's going to be like at least a couple different moments while watching this film where I'm just like, oh, it's like from that movie, and it's like, oh yeah, of course, because they got it from this movie.
Yeah.
Because like Bloodsport's like such a like celebrated film.
Oh my god, this is hilarious. Explain to me what part of training this is for.
This is Jean-Claude Van Damme's kink.
Oh, it's like to toughen them up.
Yeah. There's also a way to read this in like thing that's like they're in this weird relationship between the wife's like eyeballing him like all the time. And this is their weird kink.
He's like stretching out his joints so he can like better do the split.
But wait.
Hey, quick, get my magic powder. My magic white powder. I'm going to be making a lot of cocaine jokes tonight.
I think, see, how old is Van Damme during this? See, he is 28 years old when this movie
so he's
out.
my age. So this man did more of my age than I'm doing.
Oh, I love this, like, the score right here with the rising. This is like...
maybe I'm like wrong, but did we ever find out why the master's son died?
No.
It's just like, my son's dead. And Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, I'll train to be your new son.
Yes.
Ooh. Man, he's giving him like the sexy eyes.
That's what I'm saying. There's a way to read into this like relationship between him and Shidoshi and the Shidoshi's wife. Oh yeah, I forgot that he has this like badass kimono. That's like maroon. Just wait. This movie takes a real hard turn once Donald Gibb shows up. Because it's like, this is like so overly serious, and it becomes a very different movie. It goes back to that early montage of like... So we've had 2 montages so far, right? Would you say? You had the opening Fighters Around the World and this second training.
The Fighters Around the World I wouldn't consider a montage, because it's not like I guess it is a montage. I guess like what I consider a montage for a film like this is like the training montage, like a Rocky, you know.
Okay.
I love how you remembered I love how you remembered an entire montage while standing there. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna.
The style of this movie is really good. Maybe, and maybe it's like me just being like, man, 80s like fashion was just like very like
his
extra
jacket
top tier.
His jacket is. I was actually thinking like, oh, that's a good jacket, like a bomber jacket.
I was like, as soon as he said it, like, don't mind me, I'm invisible.
I think it's also he looks like the villain from that movie from Kung Pao because of the mustache.
Honor you means everything. I am your son now.
Very much like Kung Pao, like the training, the goofy training very much comes to play to beat the villain. Kumite. Yeah, so this is supposed to be in Hong Kong, and this is, I believe, during the British ownership of Hong Kong. I don't think they've given it back. Oh, here we go.
I was wondering when the American Asian guys were going to show up. This is probably isn't one of them.
Every stereotype you would love of a name. And if you don't know who he is Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Nerds is a
very problematic
movie, but also extremely problematic.
Yeah, I think now it probably is not. Yeah.
The triumph scene of the movie is the hero
like
Or did
like
rape
raping a
a
girl.
raping girl. Yeah. Oh, let me introduce you to the one woman in this movie, and I'm not
Well,
joking.
I mean, like there's not gonna be a woman in the Kumite, I assume.
I mean, literally, I don't think there's like another female character who speaks.
Yeah, lady Bloodsport's not a thing.
Oh my god! You remember when they were going to do that, but then everyone saw how Ronda Rousey acted?
Remember they were gonna do a Roadhouse remake with Ronda Rousey?
They were going to do a bunch of stuff, and then they saw her act in Fast and Furious, and they're like, "Oh, she's
Yeah, I was
going
gonna say
to be in a Fast and Furious movie."
And well, and, like the only one who like touches her is
Oh, wait a minute. Hang on.
WWE. And WWE is like they're like more than willing to make money with
No,
anyone,
wait, this
regardless
movie-
of like
there-
bullshit. Oh,
there
hey,
is
they're
a-
playing kung fu.
There
Yeah,
is a lady Bloodsport movie.
no, it's like on indefinite hiatus.
No, it's called Lady
my
Blood Fight.
god! No matter, not only is he a true martial artist, he's a real gamer.
Yeah, this is their bonding moment. This is how they become bros.
All right, so Lou, here, listen. Upon arriving in Hong Kong, an American woman is beaten up and mugged by thugs. She's taken in by a martial arts master who trains her for a formidable fight competition known as the Kumite.
Wait, that's the Ronda Rousey Bloodsport movie that did
No,
get
this is
made.
the movie. This is the movie that's actually out and exists.
Oh wait, they made one. When did they make this?
This was like 2018.
I guess they made it, and that was the one she was supposed to be in and star in.
Yeah, 2016. Actually, I'm sorry.
Hey, so here's our
Woman-
connection. This is a movie that features a video game prominently.
Ray Jackson
Hey,
and Frank
look,
Hughes
way
sound
before
like.
they were famous. This is Forrest Whitaker.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh shit! It is.
No, I'm not joking. It's Forrest Whitaker.
Oh shit!
This is like one of his first movies. I'm gonna look and see where this is on his IMDb. Well, that was a dick move, Rose. She just like picked up my Apple TV remote and threw it on the floor. So this is after he's done like, oh no, he's done a couple of things. This is like after Platoon and Good Morning Vietnam. But this is him definitely like in a more starring role. Like he's a prominent character in this movie. Dukes, not ducks.
Go ahead and call him Frank Ducks. This
This
is the
guy-
biggest secret fight ever that no one's supposed to know about, but I'm talking about in the open.
Well, because they're at the hotel for Kumite fighters. This guy is actually awesome.
Okay, so the guy who plays Ray Jackson is also in a movie I want to see called Transylvania 6-5000 that I do want to watch with Jeff Goldblum. Okay. It's time to protect your nuts.
Oh, this is one of my favorite lines from any movie coming up right here. Okay, USA. I don't know why, but I love that line. This is also to tell you, this is the slowest part of the movie. And the scene reminds me of like Beer Fest. I'm in my own Kumite right now, fighting Rose. You guys are very quiet. You're just enthralled.
I'm enjoying the movie. That's all. I'm just like I'm very curious as to what's happening.
It is, yeah. This is like a really.
Yeah, I was actually like looking up like Donald Gibbs, like and what else he was in, because I kind of feel like he would have been showing up in other like animated shit, and it's like nope, like his last film was Hancock, and he showed up as a convict, and his TV film work was like a lot of like
one-off, like big scary guy.
Oh man, no, he and Pat Morita were in Kumite or Bloodsport 2, the next Kumite.
Oh my god! So like they actually got the guy from Karate Kid for Bloodsport 2.
And they got James Hong. We all know who James Hong is, right?
Mm.
He was in Balls of Fury. He was Hannibal Chew in Blade Runner. He was in Mulan.
Okay, so the guy in the pink shorts behind them, he's a real Muay Thai fighter. He is the villain in Kickboxer.
In which one?
Kickboxer.
Okay. All right, now I want Bruce Springsteen to do a Kumite.
But like, it's funny how like normally, he's gonna do the Dim Mak, which I'm sure you've heard of in every movie. This is probably one of the most famous scenes.
This is all brought to you by the power of cocaine.
This is also another good way to show us all of our fighters.
Yeah, really. Release the power of the sun.
But I think this is like the score here is so good too. Like,
well, the score's fantastic. Oh.
whoa.
Yeah, how Van Damme is so good at like those faces.
Yeah, that was fucking cool. What the fuck? Yeah, exactly. Son of a bitch. Man, I'm with Jackson. Jackson's my favorite character.
I guess you're good enough.
Yeah, like everyone's like, oh shit, like the big guy's like shitting his pants. So I believe
just me, but does Jean-Claude Van Damme has really stupid hair?
Oh well, it's 80s hair, but I believe they dubbed over Bolo Young in this movie.
So, quick talk about next week. Can we do Masters of the Universe before Superman 4? Just because, like,
the show comes out.
Not even the show comes out. I'm also not going to be available for one of the recordings, and I would like to see Masters of the Universe.
Oh, for sure, then. So this is our weird
Show
B-plot.
comes out next week.
They were supposed to remake this movie.
I thought the Masters of the Universe show was off like a couple weeks.
So a remake was going to be directed by the guy who did Ninja Assassin, which that's a fun movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, okay. So we're talking about Masters of the Universe, right?
Yes, the one with Dolph Lundgren.
Which I have never seen.
And they're doing a remake that's directed by the Ninja Assassin guy?
No. I'm saying the Bloodsport remake was supposed to be the Ninja Assassin guy.
No, they are doing a cartoon.
The Netflix, so like the adult Kevin Smith Netflix Masters of the Universe is in like a week or two?
No, that's coming out around June or July, I think.
Oh, okay. I confused. Like when you said like do the Master of the Universe like watch party, because I was like, wait, that show comes out like a week or two?
No, we were talking about doing a instead of Jean-Claude Van Damme, we do like a canon trilogy, and that's a canon film.
Sure. I guess I was just like I saw the news of the Kevin Smith Master of the Universe, and I was just like infinitely like just like not interested, because like I like in the year 2021 I can't find myself to be invested in anything Kevin Smith does, let alone like let's make a grim gritty adult in the Master of the Universe.
I don't know.
No, the Master of the Universe he's working on is a direct sequel to the TV show. It's animated.
Sure. Okay.
And the voice cast is amazing. You got Sarah Michelle Gellar as Tila, Mark Hamill as Skeletor.
I don't think that's the bad part of that show. Like I think the voice acting will be really good.
You're just not a fan of the writing.
You're not a Kevin Smith
the writing.
guy.
You know, it's like
That's fair. That's fair.
How do I?
You're not a Kevin Smith guy.
Taking kids' properties and then making them grim, gritty adult shit. Like I just like at the end of the day, I'm like, I don't get.
Wait, what? Wait, what?
You're talking about the movie, right?
Okay, that's fucking cool. What the fuck?
No, you see like a martial artist, but he's a magician.
He's a ninja magician. And now we get to this is in the blousey shirt.
Yeah, what did a reporter have to say to pitch this story? I want to talk about the Kumite. The what?
I think there's like a secret cabal like underground fighting tournament that's like.
Well, it's also supposed to be like where all the world's of richest people go to watch these dudes beat the shit out of each other. That's what it's supposed to be. What's like Street Fighter, like the game? Like it's this thing that only those in the know. I love that Jackson just always has a beard.
I also just every time I see him do splits, I think of that commercial with the trucks.
Oh yeah, but yeah, because that's his thing, and this is where he gets known for that. Because like, this is all him. Is it bad that I look at Jackson Snickers and I'm like, damn, I want those?
Okay, so the fighter Hussein, when he was fighting with Van Damme, he was actually knocked unconscious by him.
Yeah, that's something Van Damme is very much known for. I think he broke in one of his movies. He broke a stuntman's neck, but that was way later when he was like hardcore to cocaine.
I see
All
what
right.
Jean-Claude Van Damme movies are on Tubi, which
They're all his stuff around like the until like 95 are all so good.
all right, so
They're
knockoff
they're
on
not good as
here.
like good. They're good because they're so good.
Kickboxer, The Quest, Hard Target, Double Impact, Death Warrant, Time Cop. All right, the good ones.
Yeah, the martial arts focused ones are the best ones, except for the Quest.
Universal
That's when
Soldier,
he's
Regeneration.
hardcore. But you're also like I am a big like martial arts movie fan, especially ones that are like tournament based, like Best of the Best. Hey, I wonder if Mortal Kombat stole Black Dragon from this movie.
Commentate the fight to the death presented by Mountain Dew.
Presented by Heatap.
Yeah.
Okay, if you can turn up your volume when they start fighting, that is when you should turn to hear the best song. I think that was like our only like lore drop in this whole movie, right?
Maybe I haven't seen it.
This is the song. And this is how we enter our second or third montage. Oh, and one of the things that makes this movie good is all these guys are actual real fighters, except for like our main actors. Like they're all real martial artists. I love that the person kicks dirt on him.
And then like throws a bunch of like bills on them.
Yeah, but one person like kicks some sand on him. I guess we see like a couple of full fights until we get to our montage. Is that guy wearing like spandex?
I can't imagine Ogre like listening to this guy.
I'm waiting for this dude to pull off a wrestling move or something because he looks like something out of like WWF.
No, that's what he's supposed to be. He's supposed to be like a Hell's Angel bar.
Like a Zangief, like do like a power bomb.
He just hammer fists him once. I love.
What the fuck? Are you talking to me? Oh,
The fuck?
what
My
did I
God.
do to you?
Yeah, this is the movie where Bolo Young plays like the scariest creature on earth.
I love how this guy was just like, look what I did, and Jean-Claude Van Damme's like, congrats, you killed a guy.
Well, killing is part like can happen.
Good stuff. You got some blood on you.
But this movie, if you don't have ogre in this,
Chun.
Chung Li, not Chung Li.
I know. I'm making a terrible joke.
You're about to see Bolo Young's signature move, though. It's like the reverse save the cat. Like, we have to make him so evil. Yeah, the student in the yellow thing is shredded. I like how apathetic he is. Oh my god. Chung Li is Jiren from Dragon Ball Super.
The power of cocaine. Jean-Claude Van Damme's gonna go Ultra Instinct.
Do you get what he just did?
Snap the guy's neck.
Yeah. For no reason. He set a new world record.
For defeat or for killing?
No, for fastest victory.
What total disrespect! He fake knocking
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, he
Like,
quit.
oh god, don't hit me! I'm not gonna lie here. Like, Jean-Claude Van Damme being like, the tough guy is like the fakest shit.
Oh yeah, he's ridiculous. He's such. Well, that's the whole thing. They make him like in wrestling terms like so baby face in this.
Oh my god, he kicked his tooth out. The one gold tooth.
Yeah, that's not Chekhov's janitor.
Okay, my biggest jam is slow-mo kicks to the face or
Oh,
body
this
in the
movie has
martial arts
so many.
movies.
Yeah, this movie has so many of them.
This song's amazing already.
Yes, this is the Hearts on Fire. This is like the song. But like, this is where it's like very Street Fighter-esque. Where it's like, oh, you have the African guy who has like monkey stuff. That's very martial arts racist. This is such an 80s song, but it's so awesome. Kumite, kumite.
Kumate.
But like this, like is what like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat movies are missing. Like just having an actual tournament. So yeah, The guy that's in the pink, yeah, he's the villain in Kickboxer, I believe. He's a real Muay Thai
I
fighter.
think this is kind of what the new Mortal Kombat was missing. I don't necessarily think like this is what Street Fighter is missing.
Street Fighter should be more of this.
I think
Mortal Kombat had nothing.
I think Street Fighter should have like fights that are like actual street fights, you know?
Yes.
Like, there's not should be like a fight that's like unless you're fighting Vega, where like the biggest stage is all about fighting in front of a bunch of people. I think like most of Street Fighter should just be like street fights.
Yeah, but there are crowds in like every stage.
But they're like, I mean, like the DJ stage, they're all dancing, or
Yeah.
you know, most of the other stages they're just like doing other things. But you know what? You're actually right. I'm not even going to argue that. But they're not like in an arena. It's not like a planned fight. It's like, oh shit, a fight's happening, and we're gonna like watch it as a group of people who happen to be there.
This is a funny detail. If you look, the other table behind them is like a white girl, and so like this is subtly like, oh, this is the shitty place where like tourists go. The food's so bad the dog won't even eat it. Van Damme's look here is great too. The gold blazer. Are you ready for another montage? After we just had one? I ate your pal dick face. So the idea is that they're trying to get him because he's basically like a super soldier.
The Winter Soldier program.
Yeah, but like
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
The U.S. government has invested too much into him as a military asset that they cannot lose him to a weird street like martial arts tournament.
Armin Zola.
Okay.
Armin Zola created the.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna make a joke saying Armin Zola tried the Winter Soldier program at first, but then the subject discovered cocaine, so he had to try again because he couldn't get it back under control.
I just don't understand. Like, if the United States military put a bunch of money into Jean-Claude Van Damme as a super soldier, like, shouldn't the best place to test their super soldier to be into an international fighting tournament?
All right, let me know how much you enjoy this like very funny chase scene.
I mean, the music's funny for like the chase scene.
Like this is like this reminds me because Canon also did the Mannequin. This is where that part of Canon comes in.
Jean-Claude Van Damme's run is the funniest shit ever.
Like this is so weird to have in this movie, and like I like how he like fucks with them. He doesn't just get away. He taunts them. And this song is like not quite like Flock of Seagulls. Who does the?
But I mean,
no, this
like,
is more like bad Duran Duran ripoff. But
I guess I just don't understand. Like, why does not the U.S. government want to test out their super soldier on this Kumite? Do they not think that
because Frank Dukes, the real man, was that powerful? What do you think's going to happen to them?
Oh God!
Like, how pure 80s is that? Like, why is that necessary in this movie at all? Oh, now we're back to date night. I always wondered, I don't know what else she has done.
Who, this actress?
Yeah.
Give me a second.
Because I think the idea is like her father was like a very important journalist. So then he wants to
Leia
be
Ayers is her name. Give me a second. She was on an episode of Fantasy Island. She was on a recurring role of Saint Elsewhere, Bloodsport, The Brady's, which I guess was a reboot.
and she played Marsha Brady.
Yeah, she did an episode of Sliders. Did a couple of guest roles on Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, not much. She's a yoga program director now. She does a lot of yoga-based stuff.
Oh man, so this is really weird. So her thing with the Bradys, she replaced the actress that played Marsha, but pretty much everyone else was back. That's so weird.
Whoa! You sound like you're like fucking most butt.
Oh, I told you, this is like
But
female
in a
games.
lot of
This is like, all right, we have the fighting for the dudes, and we're gonna have lots of Jean-Claude for the ladies.
But I think it's like kind of funny that we see like
Almost all of him and nothing of her.
For a hyper masculine film, like we've seen like more dude butt than lady butt.
You don't see anything of her. You see like way more of him. She's like,
I mean, like, hey man, I'm not complaining.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
no, this is definitely like the 80s. Like, oh, look, we have the fights for the dudes, and we'll give them like section Jean-Claude for the ladies. You can do the splits. That's sexy. So in her story, though, she hooks up with Jean-Claude to try to get him to bring her to the Kumite, but actually falls in love with him.
Yeah.
He
I mean, the
used
Kumite was what were the friends we met along the way.
yeah. No, I was gonna say he used the Dimmock on her. That's how he hits the G spot.
God.
I mean, he hit the Kumite spot. I thought like someone knew like enter in the chat when I said that shit.
Wait,
He's trying to do dim. Okay, that caused a concussion.
he is a concussion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Ray is such a chill guy. Like,
Oh, that's the thing is like he makes no sense in this movie, but like this movie would be terrible without him.
oh
Like,
my god, he's like one of the best parts.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
Oh,
you
shit.
need like, oh wow.
He's like, oh, you're not the only guy I let use the Dimmock on me.
Gets like a pretty cool haircut. Like that's a fighting game haircut.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like his like Puma swag. I do like in this movie that the bloodstains stay. Like they don't get rid of them. And look, we see like that guy won his fight. This guy won his. He's in his alt uniform.
Oh, he's like a Muay Thai guy.
Yeah, he's a real Muay Thai fighter.
I only know he's Muay Thai because there's
The hands.
well, it's Sagat and Adon.
Oh yeah.
And they have like the same stance.
Yeah, this is a traditional Muay Thai stance. Because you don't really punch in Muay Thai. All knees. Oh, he's got him in the Muay Thai plum. Knees to the body. Knees to the body.
Tiger knee.
Is he going to do a tiger uppercut? Oh,
That's tiger genocide.
So I do want to point out on an kind of related, a Snake Eyes trailer dropped tonight.
oh wow!
Oh shit! Really?
Yes, it did.
Ooh, you might have to do a group watch.
We'll do
Here's slow motion
an
fixers.
after-
Scott.
I will say I've never seen the animated G.I. Joe movie either.
Oh, the original one from the 80s?
Yeah, the original 80s one.
We might have to do a 80s cartoon.
I heard it's insane, so I would like to watch that at some point. I don't
That's
know.
what, like,
We'll do a
Inception.
watch of like after this.
Yeah.
I don't know if
which
like Lou will be available because of like baby stuff, but
Oh, what is the villain in the animated one? It's like
the snake, whatever. I remember hearing.
See, but this is where like this concept of like we're actually seeing kind of matches guys moving forward that we don't get in Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat.
Sure. I mean, like for Mortal Kombat, like I think the story of Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I forgot about that scene.
Oh god. I think the idea of Mortal Kombat is like very much a tournament at the forefront of the story, and for Street Fighter, there is the story of the tournament, but like there's also
it's very back, right? It's in the
background, and also like there's not like a specific venue all these fighters show up to. It's like you fight on the street. Ooh.
Take to the back of the head.
I put the Snake Eyes trailer in the chat for later if you guys want to watch it. If you guys want to watch it when we're done, with the recording.
But like you can see how like there is a skeleton here that it's odd that neither of those movies have tried to do.
Oh sure.
Because I think if you adapted Street Fighter into a tournament movie, like you wouldn't lose anything really. If it was like in a location as opposed to like going all around the world.
I think like also like the thing with like Street Fighter Legends Chun-Li, like we're gonna introduce like energy balls and super moves into it, but like also at the same time we're not gonna like do really anything with it. So it's like, why do you do it in the first place?
I forgot about this guy.
Oh man, he's the Undertaker.
And he gets like
That's pretty good.
This movie knows what it is too, right? And that's like the greatness of like the canon films.
Canon films know what they are and they know what kind of bonkers shit they're doing.
Yeah, because now we have like Monkey versus Sumo.
Yeah.
Which feels very racist, but he's fighting monkey style. We don't get
I don't think it's necessarily like monkey, but it's like he's like kind of like doing capoeira.
It's not capoeira. I believe they like.
It's not 100% capoeira, but it's like oh hey, like this is the 80s version of that style.
In the intro, he was climbing trees and breaking coconuts with his hand. And this other guy's definitely supposed to be a sumo.
Oh sure. Oh, he broke his back. Oh my god.
Oh, I broke his back.
Oh, and that guy looks like Geese Howard.
It is funny how, like, it's very obvious who the actual people who are trained actors are compared to people who are just martial artists, and, like, Bolo is obviously both.
Uh-oh. Shirts come off, ladies.
Are you ready for the Johnny
run? think the moment he took his like little outfit
I mean,
off, every
this is
lady was
all
like, "Woo!"
this is all basically just a unsanctioned MMA tournament.
Oh, well, that's the basis of the quote unquote story is that like the Kumite was real, and the Kumite
It's
is what
Fight
turned
Club.
into MMA.
It's Fight Club minus all the psychological stuff.
Yeah, well, UFC when it started was this. It was like sumo versus boxer, kickboxer versus wrestler.
Which, like, I mean, like, hey, man, I thought, like, early UFC is, like, the most interesting of, like, current UFC.
Well, that's because everyone was like, oh, it's better to have little bits from everything and not just concentrate on a thing. Besides jiu-jitsu. Oh, he democked his gut.
That face is amazing.
Oh, that's like what Jean-Claude is known for. Oh, he ate it.
I love if his gut exploded and there was just blood and gore everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Oh, he pulled a. Wait, that's from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
That's
no,
a Johnny
Mortal
Cage,
Kombat,
yeah.
yeah, Mortal Kombat stole it from this movie.
Oh my god.
They literally wanted Jean-Claude to play Johnny Cage, and he said
I know
no.
about that one, but oh shit, I didn't realize that. That's fucking
Yeah.
cool.
But like Mortal Kombat, like specifically pulls a lot from this movie because there basically are like finishers in this movie.
She's
Like-
just looking. She's looking at him, and she's just like, "I'm definitely gonna sleep with that
Oh
tonight."
shit! He democked his balls.
Which, by the way, like, Jean-Claude Van Damme would not be as good as the guy that they did get for Mortal Kombat. Like,
Lyndon
Oh
Ashby.
no!
Lyndon
can
Ashby
we
is
all be
charming.
serious?
Yeah, for
Because,
that.
like, Jean-Claude Van Damme could not deliver the line, like, that was a 500 pair of sunglasses, asshole. Like, as
Yeah,
well as
no.
the guy that he did get.
No, because yeah, Johnny Cage in that movie is the comic relief. You can't. Jean-Claude would have to be the lead. They would have had to completely rework the script to make him kind of the Liu Kang.
Yeah.
Although it's funny, there's talks of making him Johnny Cage in the sequel to the new movie.
Yeah, please not. Like, really, like, the joke that people are, like, saying right now where WWE's The Miz should be Johnny Cage is, like, 100%, like, correct. Like, Johnny Cage should always be played by, like, a B-tier actor who has, like, a huge personality.
You know who would actually be really good that has similar connection is Stardust. Because at least he's acted before. Has The Miz actually acted in anything?
I feel like if there was a Bloodsport remake,
yeah.
it's gonna be
The Miz has acted in like about 6 to 7 like WWE films.
12 round 7.
Yeah.
Wait, is he dead? Oh shit, is he dead?
He is not dead.
I will be so mad.
Okay, I have to check, but I'm
Chong-Li? No, it's Chun-Li.
Chung Li.
Oh god, I'll be
I'm
so
joking.
mad if he's dead.
Your soul is mine.
Yeah, the guy who's the Muay Thai fighter is a real Muay Thai champion.
Oh no, he's alive. Good. I was gonna say he's in the sequel.
It could have been his twin brother.
Also named Ray.
Part of the story of this movie is when it was initially filmed, they hated the cut, and Jean-Claude Van Damme helped recut this movie. And that's
Oh my
why there's
God.
so many more montages and slow motion kicks.
To cut it, did he do like whirlwind kicks to cut like the actual film? This might be a controversial opinion, but I feel like you could have like a more like dynamic martial artist in the role of Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it would have been just as good, if not better.
Yeah, well, that's the '80s ness and canon, like because we have two sub stories. Like you have dating girl, when the news reporter girl, and then the military shit.
I mean, sure, but like I talked about how I really like Sudden Death and Hard Target, and those are like really cheesy like action films, but like at the same time, it's like kind of very evident like watching this as like this is Jean-Claude Van Damme's like biggest action film of like the '80s, or like one of his like biggest '80s action films, and like I kind of get it now. It's like I get like why he did not survive the '90s, because like he really couldn't survive like like a Sylvester Stallone or an Arnold or
No, he doesn't have
or
he doesn't have the acting chops of those guys.
not even like acting chops, like a personality. It's like he's not Nick Cage. He's not a John Travolta.
Well, he's not in that group. He's in the Steven Seagal, Chuck Norris group.
Sure, and of that group, he's the top tier of that group.
Yes, he is absolutely the top tier of that group. Mostly his career is ruined by cocaine.
Sure, but it's like I only bring that up because I brought up like about a week or two on like the last like watch party where I was like, it's like if Jean-Claude Van Damme was like so big of like the '80s and '90s, like it must have been like his like an agent problem, like why he didn't get bigger films in the '90s and the 2000s. But like watching this, I'm like, oh, I get it. I kind of get like why he didn't get any bigger roles in the '90s.
No, it's also like if I'm trying to have to look.
And I say that as someone who's like, oh, like this film is totally like what influences like a lot of shit like I love.
I love that Jean-Claude Van Damme's looking around and he's like, wait, where's this music coming from? Sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to point that out.
It's funny, like you're right, Siler, because like if you look at his thing, he does like all of these he does like a handful of martial arts movies. He does Cyborg, which is like literally the last canon film, which is a weird sci-fi movie. And then it's like
he starts Time Cop.
Well, Time Cop's like
'94, and that's like the last like kind of like big film that I know that
Time Cop and Street Fighter are the same year, and that's the end of his career, basically.
Oh my god!
So I gotta say, this movie is kind of insane, but I love it.
So his last,
like I think this movie is pretty fun so far, and like I totally get like how this influences like Street Fighter,
this is
the
like
King of Fighters, and Mortal Kombat, and all the fighting games I really loved in the '90s.
So his last big movie is Sudden Death. Sudden Death, which is a terrible movie, was his first like.
But it's super fun.
It's super fun. Was a big Hollywood movie.
Yes. I would say like the last.
That's supposed to be his Die Hard.
Sure, but I think his last, like, not big film, but like the last film, like people talked about Jean-Claude Van Damme as like a household name was like JCVD, and I think it's like kind of telling that you have like this big, like all those guys in like the 2000s, all those. Mm-hmm.
The Expendables 2 with like a word.
But that's the thing. It's like all those guys in the 2000s had like a rejuvenation of their careers. Like Schwarzenegger did, Schwarzenegger did.
Well, Schwarzenegger
like,
never really went away.
And you had, but it's like you had like a reintroduction of them as being like important action heroes or important actors. And JCVD was like the reintroduction of Jean-Claude Van Damme, but of all those people, like he just did not capitalize in JCVD in the right way that you would expect him to do. Like he does Kung Fu, like he does the voice in Kung Fu Panda, I think.
He does. He's the Croc.
But other than that, it's like he's not like on the same level as all these other like action hero people.
JCVD was his last big one. And then before that, he did like Knockoff, Double Team, Universal Soldier. He's done a couple of those movies.
Well, that was
Expendables
like
2 was like his first big movie in a while. And then he's doing Minions 2.
yeah, he's doing a
Holy
yeah.
shit!
Well, the thing is, it's like he had such a bad.
Maybe I missed it, but why did these cops want him back?
Because
they think he's property of the government.
Yeah, and the Hong Kong cops want to shut down the Kumite.
Maybe they should have brought guns instead of tasers.
Well, no, the one cop went to go pull the gun, and they stopped him because they're like, "No, we need him. He's too expensive." So
well, like yes.
To go back to the Jean-Claude thing, the reason why he it's really like he had such a bad reputation from like his cocaine stuff, injuring stuntmen, like all of that stuff really burned him on the industry. Because, like we said, like in the Street Fighter movie, he was just ripping rails of cocaine and hooking up with Kylie Minogue.
I love how he's like, "Here, I'm going to bribe you. Give me that."
I mean, like, I wish I was like big enough to be like doing coke and Kylie Minogue in 1993.
Because
that seems like a fucking dream.
Because if you look everything after that, like, so he did Sudden Death, which is supposed to be his Die Hard. That's like his big. Because Sudden Death is done by. Pull it up here.
Sudden Death.
Yeah, like
Sudden Death was Peter Hyams. It was their second collaboration after Time Cop.
Yeah, but like that was supposed to be a big film. Doesn't go anywhere. The Quest is he literally is on an episode of Friends, and The Quest is like written and directed by Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it's dumb Bloodsport. Yeah, directed by Jean-Claude Van Damme, written by Jean-Claude Van Damme and Frank Dukes. And starring Jean-Claude Van Damme, Roger Moore, and James Remar.
He also did a movie with he did his last two big movies were Double Team with Dennis Rodman and Knockoff with Rob Schneider.
Double Team is so bad, and I love it.
I know the Coke scene, like the Coke refrigerator or Coke vending machine.
Yeah, the Pepsi machine. Well, yeah, that is like it's him. Dennis Rodman is supposed to be a cameo, and he's in half the movie. And it is during the bad time of Mickey Rourke's career. And and I don't even think that movie went to the theaters. And basically after that, he's just like the straight to DVD guy. For like 2 decades, pretty much. Until Expendables 2 in 2012.
He's great in Expendables 2. Like, he's such a good villain.
Well, because like he has personality, he just can't have. Like, you just need to have Jean-Claude be Jean-Claude. And so there's like the version of him in this movie is not what he is in any of his other movies. Like, this is him as being, and maybe Kickboxer. Like, this and Kickboxer and Lionheart, because they're just straight martial arts movies. Once he leaves that and starts doing, like, the other films, where it's like the crime films and...
Wait, hang on. He did a movie that was like limited release with it was directed by the guy who did Karate Kid and Rocky, and it's him, Danny Trejo, and Pat Morita. Huh. I don't think it's good, apparently.
No, I would suspect it's not. But like, I love like. So the difference between him, like his good movies are all his martial arts movies, and then he tried to do movies like what Chuck Norris and Steven Seagal were doing, which were like, I'm a guy in a thing who just happens to be a martial artist, and he was terrible in those.
I think he's also been doing a lot of like more comedy
like
stuff based.
A lot of those like Steven Seagal films are also like not good.
No, there's like 3 good ones.
Steven Seagal Oh, I would say one. I would say Under Siege is the only good Steven
No,
Seagal
Under
movie.
Siege is a whole other animal. But he has like there's oh my god. The one where it's like you can take that to the bank.
I'm looking here. Hold on.
And Steven Seagal's had like 3 careers.
His first few, like Above the Law, Hard to Kill, Marked for Death,
Hard to Kill and Above the Law are awesome.
Hard Out for Justice,
Out for Justice is also awesome.
On Deadly Ground, Executive Decision, which he shows up in for like 2 minutes.
Well, Executive Decision is him in a Under Siege, and Executive Decisions are like those are movies that aren't Steven Seagal movies. They're like he's the star in those movies. Like the other ones are ones that he's like an executive producer.
And then
Man.
Yeah,
I'm
Lumberman
looking
is
Exit Wounds.
fucking-
Exit Wounds I like, but that's
well,
because
that's,
DMX.
Exit Wounds is the second part of Steven Seagal's career. That's when he starts doing movies for like people who grew up on Steven Seagal movies, and he starts working with like DMX and other rappers.
The last one I kind of remember for like he just like kind of like exits out of my consciousness is Half Past Dead in 2002.
Yeah, that was the last
Like
big one for him.
there's
Oh
and then I just like do not recognize like any of these other films.
no, he was in Machete.
I mean, like if he was in Machete, he's like a bit like
I
Machete
think
is
he's like
full
a
of like
villain,
so
right?
many like
No, Machete.
Like-
He's the main villain.
is he?
Yeah.
I do not remember that at all.
Yeah. And then after his like hip hop movie career,
And the
is when
and
he goes
the
into
like the
making
note
films for Russia.
the notes for Machete on Wikipedia are Seagal's first wide release since 2002, which is Half Past Dead.
Yeah, after his hip hop movies, then he did direct to DVDs, and then he went and became Putin's best friend. All right, you guys ready for the climax? What's funny is if you remove the chase sequence and the love story from this movie is an hour long and it's fucking way better. I love that he still has the scar and he has a shiner now. I also really love the tournament thing, like where they fight, that it's like this double ramp. But yeah, I was looking, and they basically the Johnny Cage character is basically Jean-Claude Van Damme. It is like their homage to him. So it's why he wears like the same outfit as him, and he's like basically looks exactly like him from this movie. Bolo Young is also like really good in this for just doing like face smirks. So did you guys clock what happened with Chung Lee's trainer?
No.
No.
He put like a little thing in his shorts, like a pill.
The big bump.
The
Like
titty bounce.
tech jump.
Yeah, that's like one of Bolo's things.
Ooh.
I like how the ref has a wedding ring or some sort of ring on. Yeah, Van Damme is so good at those like poses while yelling. those kicks would have like no force behind them.
I think like that's the thing about this movie is like none like it all seems very performative.
I love how he just had that little yell like "Wee!"
Like some of these like camera angles are like pretty good, but like a lot of it just like punches and kicks just like have no
They don't even
impact
connect.
to them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. It's like I think that's one of the problems of seeing it in HD, seeing it what 30 years later.
I think like honestly it's like a thing of this also being like a movie from the 1980s watching it in 2021. But
Yeah,
like this movie, but I'm still having like a lot of fun.
it's also like post
It's
seeing
like
like
not as impactful. It's not as impactful if I was watching it as a kid.
yeah, like I've seen this movie like 30 times minimum. But like in a world post where like UFC is like really famous, like you're like, oh, this makes no sense. Like in an actual
Like for you, Bloodsport was the thing that you watched as a kid. For me, it was Street Fighter 2, the animated film, and I think we're both enraptured in both of them in the exact same way.
oh, for sure.
Oh, he pulled out. Oh, he's got fucking salt.
I was gonna do the blind technique.
You know, for a guy who threw like salt in another man's eyes, he didn't capitalize in the way you hope he would.
Oh man, he threw cocaine in my face.
Could you imagine if, like, I threw cocaine in his face to beat him, but it didn't work out?
See, this is where like I think the camera shots started really well, like with the POV shots, work well to show like how jacked up his vision is.
Yeah.
And I do think this is where like this movie is like very like WWE, I think in many ways, to me, of like how they build up Chun Li as so evil. Like he's so scum, like moving the ref in front of him before, and like getting the hype. Like he's very much like very wrestler heel, like getting hype from the crowd. I do think it's like cool in this movie that like it is all Van Damme. Like there
I
are
mean, like,
there's no
no stunts.
doubles.
I mean, both these guys are fucking jacked.
And I also think it helps like if you're a big martial arts movie fan, like Bolo Young is like one of the guys who has one of the big fights with Bruce Lee and Enter the Dragon. So he has like that pedigree.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is an insane shot, but I love it. And the sound with like his voice cracking. Yeah, this movie is very 80s in many ways, but like in many of the best ways, like these like flashback cuts. This is definitely the best acting Van Damme's ever done in his career. There you go. John Scott. Slow motion kicks. All of them.
Listen, as long as they make contact with someone's face, it's my absolute jam.
Oh, he just threw like 6 and none of them touched.
That's
Yeah, he threw 3 of them, and all of them whipped.
Well, I think they were supposed to show that he was ducking them.
I mean, they look cool either way.
There you go. So this is a
There
signature
we go.
Van Damme movie thing. So he recuts the same kick over and over from different angles. I think his eye acting is really good here too. Of being like blind. So
Now they got all the cocaine out of my eyes.
he gets his own sword.
Wait, that's what you get for winning the Kumite?
Well, the sword his master had was from winning the Kumite at some point, I believe. So if you listen to How Did This Get Made, they come up with a great idea that would have made this more interesting. Because they said, like, oh, you know how they said Chun-Li killed some guy? It should have been the Shidoshi's son, who he killed.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, he just dies off screen.
Yeah.
I do like how, like, they're beat up still. Like, they have bruises and stuff.
Brotherhood.
Or in Bloodsport 2, and 3, and 4. But I'll be there. But I hope you be there. Any other time, my friend.
I'm gonna kiss you on the head.
Gonna give you smooches.
It'd been great if you said USA A-OK.
That'd be a great line.
I love, like, the outfit this,
The other agent has the 3 Ps.
No, I was gonna say, like, the Asian, like, serious with a big, bow.
Oh, the flight attendant?
Yeah.
Oh, it's very 80s. Oh, United. At least it's an airline that still exists.
Yeah, surprisingly.
I also love this jacket.
The military army looking jacket.
Yeah.
I mean, this is almost like kind of like the music that's in like the character select screen in Street Fighter 2.
In Mortal Kombat, the original.
This motion picture is based on the true events in the life of Frank Dew. Maybe.
Perfect typing, tight as a drum.
From 1975 to 1998, Frank W. Duck. But
Well, you know what?
Imagine.
John Peters fought 500 street
Retired,
fights.
undefeated as the world heavyweight full contact Kumite champion.
No, he didn't. Kumite is not real.
Fastest knockout, 3.2 seconds. Fastest punch with a knockout, 0.12 seconds. Fastest kick with a knockout, 72 miles an hour. How would they even measure that?
Why was the film called Kumite? Instead of, I guess Bloodsport is like more punchy.
Yeah. Okay, so one of the great trivias, Duke's Ryu system, the system. On IMDb trivia, somebody did the math. Okay, in order for Frank Dukes to claim the score of 56 knockouts in a Kumite to be true, he would have had over 72 quadrillion fighters participate in it. It's 10 million times more than the human population of Earth.
This movie's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Frank Dukes is still alive.
Yeah. This movie is so much fun. Oh, I'm so glad I got you guys to watch it.
Yeah, that's why I was quiet most of the time because I'm like, I am invested. This is.
It's just fun. It's dumb.
Yeah,
It's
it's like definitely like a film that like I think influences like a bunch of shit I super love. And if I saw this like earlier in my life, I like it probably would have impressioned on me more. But because like I saw Street Fighter and King of Fighters and Fatal Fury, like that shit imprinted on me way more. But yeah, that was like a fun film, and also like went by like really fast. Like it was a
that shit
film
moved
that
quick.
like it didn't like it didn't waste its time.
Didn't overstay its welcome. Kind of went in and out.
Yeah, if you think about it, like there's like 3 or 4 montages, there's flashbacks, and there's like 2 plots that don't even matter whatsoever, and like goofy chase scene.
And a romance that makes no sense, but
yeah, it's like there's so much stuff that could get cut, but it's only there so that it could be 90 minutes.
But yeah, like I would say this is in like one of the
higher rankings.
Like middle to higher ranking films I've seen.
I almost can't even rate this because
I wouldn't say this is as good as the original Mortal Kombat for me, because I have like you
have more emotional connection to that.
Exactly,
Yeah, I have way more emotional connection to this. Like, and I love that Mortal Kombat movie, but I would rather watch this because both have great songs. This movie's just like way goofier to me.
Mm-hmm.
In like ways that I love.
Like if Chun-Li like roundhouse kicked Jean-Claude Van Damme in the face while wearing sunglasses and broke them, Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, that was a 500 pair of sunglasses, asshole. Like I would have been like way more into it. But like it's like it's like fun. Like I had a good time.
Yeah. And I think you can see, like, it's definitely like the skeleton that 90s fighting game and like movies like are pull so much from. Mm-hmm. And it's still weird that like it's such a simple formula that worked so well, and yet they just don't do it for any of those movies. You kind of get taste of it in the Mortal Kombat movie. That's like the only one that actually attempts to do something of a tournament. I don't know.
Yeah, I had a good time though overall.
Yeah, I can't really rank it because like I love it so much. Like I legitimately like if I've seen it 50 times, I would not be. I watch it every single time I see it on TV.
Mm-hmm. I'd probably put it in like I mean I think it's like definitely like in the like top middle. It's like. I said this last time on our watch party. I need to look at all the films and because I lost a list that I originally had.
You know what this movie is?
This is definitely in the part of like the film list where I'm like I had a good time.
You could put this movie on, and because of the music cues, you could know when to like stop whatever you're doing to like poke your head and actually watch it for the fights, and then go about your business. And then you hear that song kick on, and then you pop your head back over.
Yeah.
Like, that's what this movie is.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I'm going to do some housework. I'm going to, like, dust and vacuum. Oh, This is on the background. I don't even need to hear. It doesn't even need to be on, like, the volume. So, do we want to watch this Snake Eyes trailer real quick?
Yeah,
You guys can. I've seen it. I might
You're gonna tip out?
I'm about to pass out soon. So
All right, it's 60 seconds. All right, I'm gonna click play on it now, Siler.
Okay. 3, 2, and this is like from Jaloom. It's like the 58-second trailer, which I looked at a couple of them. All of them seem to be 58 seconds, which seems very short for the trailer. But yeah, here it is. So 3, 2, 1, play.
Well, it looked like the girl from the last movie was there at least.
Mara Weaving is Scarlet.
Is this not connected to the other G.I. Joe movies, or is it?
I assume it's not. Because, like, the last G.I. Joe movie is, like, 6 years ago? 7 years ago?
Well, it's definitely not the same actor, but...
Oh, I think there's, like, definitely, like, a Lady Jane, a Baroness. Or not Lady J, but, you know.
G.I. Joe Origins.
Exclusive to cinemas. Which I think is, like, kind of funny, you know.
Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah.
But, you know, there's a, like, at the 43-second mark, like, I think there's, like, obviously, like, a Scarlet actor and a Baroness actor.
Yes. It looks fun for what we see. It looks very, like, what we are kind of accustomed to seeing with, like, I would say, like, a Fast and Furious, or, like, the Hobbs and Shaw / like, what I think we're going to see with Black Widow. Like, kind of an action movie.
Which, like, is not necessarily, like, you know, like, I think, like, the best idea for Fast and the Furious was that as the franchise went along, they basically became, like, a G.I. Joe franchise, and that's, like, why you have, like, G.I. Joe as a film franchise, like, trying to catch up, because it's like, okay, like, well, you already have Fast and the Furious, like, how do we catch up in that?
Well, they stole The Rock.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's like
Snake Eyes is basically the same character in both franchises.
Snake Eyes is probably, like, the most
iconic.
Yeah, it's like the most popular, iconic G.I. Joe character, at least with the 80s. Like, you know, it's like, I understand
he has a very specific look that you know immediately.
There's a, you know, World War, like, there's like a 50s, 60s era version of G.I. Joe, and it's very different to the 80s version. Like, to be honest, who fucking cares about the 80s G.I. Joe, really? Like, the 80s G.I. Joe is, like, kind of like where, like, at least to me, is like, this is, like, where the most iconic versions of, like, this franchise kind of at, because it's like, we're gonna make, like, this franchise into a comic book. And Snake Eyes is probably, like, the most popular version of these characters. And, like, you know, if you're, like, trying to restart the franchise, you know, Snake Eyes is probably not a bad spot to, like, start. It's being directed by the director of Red and R.I.P.D. and 2 of the Divergent movies. So, like, I don't know. You know, like, who knows at this point, but I'm looking at the casting. You have Snake Eyes, Storm Shadow, Baroness, Scarlet.
Oh yeah, definitely saw Scarlet. I don't mind Red. I have not seen any of those other movies.
R.I.P.D. is a hunk of shit. Like,
R.I.P.D. is garbage. But,
R.I.P.D. I saw in the theaters with my sister, and it's like one of those films. Like, halfway in, we looked at each other, and we're just like, "This movie is fucking garbage."
Lou, I'm rolling out.
All right, no problem.
Just want to promote real fast. We have an episode of Gate Crashers. I just recorded it. It's coming out soon-ish. Ninja Turtles. it was chaos. That's all I'll say. So I hope y'all like it.
You did an episode about Ninja Turtles?
Hell yeah.
Fuck, I should have been. I really wish I was on that episode. I love Ninja Turtles. I could talk for hours about Ninja Turtles.
Well, look forward soon because it's coming out.
Yeah,
But
the thing about
yeah.
Ninja Turtles, I saw Ninja Turtles 3 with the
And I'll catch you guys on the flip side. This movie was fun, so y'all have a good night.
Yeah. All right, later, Scott. Yeah, this G.I. Joe trailer looks interesting.
It
can't be worse than the other stuff.
You know, it's like funny you say that. I think like the last G.I. Joe movie was actually kind of not bad. Retaliation.
Oh no, it's way better than the first one.
It's like not great, but I'm like, well, you know what? Like this is like not a bad like continuation. Like this seems like a fun like kind of place to continue. But then like that film came out in 2013, and it's like
Jesus, that's almost 10 years ago.
Yeah. So yeah, like I don't know, like hopefully I mean like I like G.I. Joe. I wish they kind of like more with G.I. Joe. I understand like G.I. Joe is kind of like a hard property to kind of do shit with in like, 2021, but
Yeah, I think it's hard with what we have with Marvel, because like Shield is basically G.I. Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember which one came first, but one of them is a ripoff. I feel like G.I. Joe's the ripoff. I don't remember. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. But
so yeah, I guess this is the first part of the canon film trilogy. So I know we talked about doing the Punisher or
Superman
4, or what was the other one?
Masters of the Universe.
Masters of the Universe in line with like the new Masters of the Universe TV show. But we'll probably like figure it out before then. But
yep. All right. Well, we will catch you guys next time though. Follow us at all our places. It's at John_FN_Seiler, correct?
Yes. SEILER. Where I promote stuff I'm doing for work and my favorite X-Men and like other shit. So
who's your favorite X-Man?
So there was like Gail Simone did like, what's your favorite X-Men? Like name your 4. And currently, like, and I think all X-Men are the best X-Men, but for me, like currently it's Dupe. It's Jamie Madrox, it's Lord Kenny, and it's Emma Frost.
Ooh, I'm with you on Emma. I love Emma. I don't know. I have to say, I think Emma Storm. I might have like an all ladies team because I would have Emma Storm, Rachel.
Rachel's good. Yeah.
Kitty.
Yeah, like a friend of mine, like I retweeted. His 4 were Kitty Pryde, Colossus, Wolverine, and Mimic. So there's a ton of great.
Yeah. Ooh, well, we can. I think I talked about doing an all X episode for the Hellfire Gala. So maybe we could do that, like our top X team, or build our own X teams. All right. So don't forget to leave 5 stars, tell a friend, rate and review, hit the little bell thing on YouTube. And we'll catch you guys next time. Adios.
Kumite, Kumite, Kumite.